Welcome to the CompTIA A+ Prepcast presented by baremetalcyber.com. Mobile devices and embedded systems are now central to both personal use and business operations, making their security a growing concern in modern environments. These devices include smartphones, tablets, wearables like smartwatches, and a wide variety of Internet of Things or IoT devices. While convenient and powerful, these endpoints are often more vulnerable than traditional desktop systems because they are mobile, wirelessly connected, and sometimes lack the same level of administrative oversight. Despite their widespread use, they are frequently overlooked during security planning. The A+ certification includes key practices for mobile device protection, secure access management, and policy enforcement in both consumer and enterprise settings. The first and most essential protection for mobile devices is a secure screen lock. This feature prevents unauthorized access in the event the device is lost, stolen, or left unattended. Common screen lock methods include numeric passcodes, personal identification numbers, swipe patterns, and biometric options such as facial recognition or fingerprints. Devices should be configured to lock automatically after a short period of inactivity to reduce the risk of casual access by others. These lock settings are critical because mobile devices often store sensitive emails, contacts, application credentials, and in some cases, access to corporate resources. Device encryption adds another critical layer of protection by making the data stored on the device unreadable without proper authentication. Encryption ensures that even if the physical device falls into the wrong hands, its contents cannot be accessed without the passcode or biometric that unlocks the encryption key. On many newer smartphones, encryption is enabled by default during initial setup, but it is still important to verify that it remains active. Encryption is especially important in work environments where mobile devices may store proprietary or confidential data tied to email accounts, cloud services, or file synchronization tools. App permissions and sandboxing are fundamental to controlling how mobile applications behave and interact with other parts of the system. When a new app is installed, it requests permission to access specific resources such as location data, the microphone, or stored photos. Users should carefully review these permissions and deny access if the request seems excessive or unrelated to the app's purpose. Both iOS and Android operating systems use sandboxing to isolate each app, preventing them from interacting with one another or with core system functions. This separation reduces the risk of cross-app malware or data leakage. Keeping mobile operating systems and applications updated is crucial for maintaining device security. Software vendors regularly release patches that fix newly discovered vulnerabilities or improve application behavior. Enabling automatic updates ensures that users receive these patches in a timely manner without needing to manually check for them. Devices that have been jailbroken or rooted processes that remove built-in restrictions often lose the ability to receive official updates. These modified devices are far more vulnerable to attack and are generally blocked from corporate networks or mobile device management platforms for that reason. Remote wipe and tracking features help mitigate damage if a device is lost or stolen. Services like Apple's Find My and Google's Android Device Manager allow users or administrators to locate devices, lock them remotely, or erase their contents. These tools are only effective if they are enabled ahead of time and linked to the user's account. Organizations should verify that these features are activated on all managed devices and that employees know how to use them. Remote wipe is especially important for devices with access to email accounts, shared file storage, or authentication apps that could compromise other systems if accessed. Biometric authentication offers a fast and secure method for unlocking mobile devices while maintaining usability. Technologies such as fingerprint scanning, facial recognition, and iris scanning provide a convenient way to access the device without typing a passcode. These methods work well in most conditions, although fallback options like a PIN or password are still necessary. Biometric data is typically stored securely in dedicated hardware components, such as the secure enclave in Apple devices or trusted execution environment in Android devices. These implementations help ensure that biometric data is not accessible to apps or transmitted over networks. Mobile device management, or MDM, platforms give organizations control over how mobile devices are used within the enterprise. These tools allow administrators to enforce security settings, control which apps can be installed, and even restrict hardware features such as the camera or USB port access. MDM solutions can also apply encryption settings, enable remote wipe, and monitor device compliance with corporate policy. In some cases, MDM can be integrated with single sign-on and identity providers to ensure that only compliant devices gain access to corporate resources. These tools are a key component of mobile security in business environments. Rooted or jailbroken devices present significant security risks by removing core operating system protections. These devices can install unauthorized applications, modify critical system files, and bypass sandboxing restrictions. While these capabilities may appeal to advanced users, they create an environment where malware can operate unchecked and updates are often disabled. For this reason, organizations typically prohibit rooted or jailbroken devices from connecting to corporate networks or accessing enterprise applications. Security compliance checks performed by MDM systems often include validation to ensure the device has not been modified in these ways. Wireless communication technologies introduce unique attack surfaces on mobile and embedded devices. Bluetooth, Near-Field Communication, or NFC, and Wi-Fi are commonly used to connect to accessories, share files, or join networks. However, these protocols can also be exploited if not properly secured. Attackers may use Bluetooth to deliver malicious payloads or use rogue Wi-Fi hotspots to intercept unencrypted traffic. As a best practice, users should disable wireless communication options when they are not in use. Devices should also avoid connecting to unknown or untrusted public networks unless a virtual private network is active to secure the connection. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. One of the simplest yet most effective security practices for mobile devices is installing apps only from trusted sources. Platforms like the Google Play Store and Apple's App Store implement vetting processes to reduce the likelihood of malware-laden apps being distributed. Although no platform is perfect, the risks are far higher when users install applications from unofficial third-party app stores or sideload APK files manually. These apps often bypass security checks, include hidden malicious code, or behave in ways that violate user privacy. By sticking to recognized app marketplaces and reviewing permissions carefully, users significantly reduce their exposure to mobile threats. Subscriber Identity Module Security adds another layer of mobile protection by locking the SIM card with a personal identification number. When SIM lock is enabled, the device will require the PIN upon reboot or if the SIM is inserted into another device. This prevents unauthorized use of the phone number and helps block SIM swapping attacks, in which attackers attempt to transfer your number to a device under their control. By enabling SIM lock and using a unique PIN, users ensure that mobile communication and two-factor authentication mechanisms tied to their number are not easily hijacked. Although many people associate antivirus software with desktops and laptops, anti-malware tools are also available for mobile platforms. On Android devices, these tools can detect harmful applications, alert users to phishing links, and block adware that slows performance or exposes data. While Apple's iOS has more built-in restrictions that reduce malware exposure, some security suites do include iOS-compatible tools to enhance features, such as web filtering and network monitoring. In enterprise environments, these anti-malware tools are often part of larger mobile device management systems, providing centralized oversight and enforcement of mobile security standards. App Store policies play an important role in keeping malicious software off users' devices. Major platforms require developers to meet certain guidelines, submit apps for review, and agree to periodic security checks. Scanning tools look for known malware patterns, unusual behavior, and violations of privacy policies. While these measures do reduce the number of dangerous apps, rogue applications can still appear and occasionally bypass vetting. This is why user vigilance is still required. Before installing an app, users should check the number of downloads, examine reviews, and avoid applications from unknown developers with limited feedback. User education remains one of the most powerful tools in any security strategy, especially for mobile devices. Training should focus on recognizing fake applications, understanding the risks of free or public Wi-Fi, and identifying phishing attempts delivered by SMS or social media. Many users do not realize that simply opening a malicious link can lead to unintended consequences. Training programs should encourage responsible behavior, such as avoiding app installations from unfamiliar sources, applying updates promptly, and backing up data regularly. By fostering a culture of awareness, organizations can significantly reduce incidents tied to mobile device misuse. Wearables and Internet of Things devices introduce their own set of vulnerabilities. These devices often lack strong encryption protocols or receive updates infrequently, making them susceptible to long-term exploitation. Many still ship with default usernames and passwords that remain unchanged by the user. Because IoT devices often connect to the same network as more sensitive systems, their compromise can serve as a stepping stone for broader attacks. Segmenting IoT devices onto separate network zones and applying firmware updates when available are essential steps. These basic precautions help ensure that the convenience of smart devices does not come at the cost of security. A helpful scenario involves a user who loses a smartphone that had access to corporate email. Fortunately, the organization had deployed mobile device management software, which allowed the administrator to issue a remote wipe command. This action erased all content on the device, including cached credentials and downloaded messages. Additionally, the device had a lock screen enabled and encryption turned on, which further protected data even before the remote wipe occurred. As an extra precaution, the user was advised to reset passwords for any accounts linked to the device, ensuring that even indirect access points were fully secured. Virtual private network use on mobile devices is an increasingly common practice, especially among professionals who access company resources from the field. A VPN encrypts all traffic leaving the device, shielding it from eavesdroppers and man-in-the-middle attacks on public Wi-Fi networks. Many VPN clients are available for mobile platforms, and organizations often configure them through MDM tools to ensure correct setup and enforcement. VPNs are especially useful when traveling, working remotely, or accessing internal systems over untrusted networks. When paired with multi-factor authentication, VPN access becomes both secure and manageable. Backups are an often overlooked but vital aspect of mobile device security. Without a backup, a lost or compromised phone may result in permanent data loss. Most mobile platforms support cloud-based backups, iCloud for Apple devices and Google Drive for Android phones. These backups can include app data, messages, photos, and system settings. Users should ensure that backups are encrypted and set to occur automatically at regular intervals. For those who prefer manual methods, encrypted local backups via computer software are also available. Regular backups not only protect against theft or loss, but also serve as a recovery mechanism in case of ransomware or corruption. In conclusion, securing mobile and embedded devices requires a combination of built-in features, administrative oversight, and informed user behavior. Whether it's setting up screen locks, enabling encryption, managing devices with MDM, or simply teaching users to recognize risks, every layer of protection counts. These devices may seem smaller or less complex than desktops, but they often hold just as much sensitive information. The A+ certification emphasizes these principles as part of its mobile security objectives, preparing technicians to manage and secure modern mobile endpoints effectively in any environment. Thank you for listening. Please visit baremetalcyber.com for more cybersecurity information, podcasts, books, and more.